Former Trump prosecutor Jack Smith is being investigated for potentially violating the Hatch Act, which is a law that bars federal employees from participating in political activities. Now, the Office of the Special Counsel confirmed over the weekend it's looking into whether Smith engaged in political activity through his inquiries into President Trump. Now, this per the New York Post, who first made the scoop. If you recall, Smith prosecuted then-candidate Trump in 2 criminal cases, one accusing him of trying to overturn the 2020 election results, and 2 allegedly hoarding classified documents in Mar-a-Lago after leaving office after his first term. Both cases were tried in 2023, a year before the 2024 election. Smith dismissed them after Trump won.
Biden Attorney General Merrick Garland insists that politics played no part in the handling of the cases, which weren't actually tried. We didn't reach trial, so we didn't get that far. But in any event, Republicans aren't buying it. In a statement to the Post, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton wrote, quote, "Jack Smith's actions were clearly driven to hurt President Trump's election, and Smith should be held fully accountable."
I have a feeling you're not going to be too enthusiastic about this. I should say it's just an inquiry at this point. But I can guess what you're going to say about it. So I guess I'll just let you say it then.
Well, you would be right in what you're predicting. Look, the idea that it was political interference to bring these cases, I think is completely absurd. In relation to the Mar-a-Lago case, it wasn't even only the documents that were photographed in a ballroom or in a bathroom. It was the accusation of very blatant obstruction of justice, where Trump was subpoenaed for documents, and the indictment goes into this in some depth, the effort to avoid, allegedly, the terms of that subpoena, wondering whether boxes were hidden from Trump's own lawyers to avoid the subpoena. Conduct that if you or I engaged in it in relation to defying a subpoena, we would clearly be prosecuted for it. Now, in relation to January the 6th, we have talked numerous times about Trump's efforts to overturn that election. I think there was a very strong case to be made, and it's not only to do with his claims of election fraud, false though they are, it's to do with the actual actions taken. The Brad Raffensperger phone call, find me the votes, the efforts to put forth fake slates of electors. None of this is political interference. It has been presented as that to try to rewrite history.
Yeah, I'm hard pressed to say that. If it's political interference to investigate Trump for these things, you can think these things were wrong or bad or shouldn't have been brought. But if it's a violation of the Hatch Act to investigate Trump for this or prosecute him, well, what are Democrats then, when they come back to power, going to say investigating Jack Smith was a violation of the Hatch Act by Tom Cotton or whoever is doing it? It seems like, why is it just political when you do it and not, or if it's illegal? The Hatch Act itself, while I like it in theory, the idea of prohibiting government employees from engaging in partisan political activities while they're on the clock as government officials, in practice, I've often thought that this can be confusing and can be not clearly able to separate what is a campaign event and what's a political event, especially for an elected official.
Sure.
Maybe for a just government employee who's not an elected person, they just, I guess, shouldn't be doing anything elective of any nature. But political figures are out there engaging in election activity, so it starts to get a little confused. Is this photo op that speaks to the good a government agency is doing? Isn't that by its very nature political? But the Hatch Act's trying to prevent that. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of vague overall and hard to enforce. While I like the idea of doing this, I think it can create confusion. And then ambiguities in the law lend themselves to politically motivated prosecutions, because then you can find some way to construe this as technically impermissible.
Sure.
Campaign activity, like that's always an option for you.
Right, and in relation to the Jack Smith thing and the point you raise about the idea that it is a violation of the Hatch Act to do something that would impair someone's future election chances, the logical extension of that argument is a candidate can never be investigated because by having the investigation, you're going to harm their chances of election. So it basically incentivizes criminality on the part of political candidates, because anyone who investigates it will be accused of violating the Hatch Act. It's silly, opportunistic stuff in my view. Up next, Trump fires the Commissioner of the Bureau of Labour Statistics over weak job numbers. Is truth in danger? I'll talk about that in my notes today. Stick around for that.